My child, there are moments in your life when love feels confusing, when the person you care about feels close yet distant, committed yet divided, present yet still tied to someone else. And in those moments, you ask God why. Why, if He loves you, is she still in His life? Why does this situation still exist? Why hasn't the door closed? Why hasn't the past disappeared? Why does this connection still linger around him like a shadow he can't seem to walk away from? God wants you to know that what you are feeling is not a sign of weakness. It is not a sign that you're second place. It is not a sign that you're forgotten or overlooked or unchosen. It is a sign that your heart is awake. It is a sign that your spirit is sensing the truth behind the surface. It is a sign that you are standing at the edge of something God is preparing you to understand. He loves you, truly, deeply, in ways He may not know how to express yet. But love alone is not the whole story. God is showing you why she is still there, not to hurt you, but to protect you. To reveal what you cannot see. To show you the roots of His past so your future is not built on illusions. God reveals so you do not fall into confusion. God exposes so you do not walk blindly into disappointment. God slows things down so your heart doesn't run into a storm unprepared. Sometimes God leaves a person in someone's life temporarily because that person represents an unresolved chapter. Not a threat, not a competitor, not someone who is greater than you, but simply an unfinished piece of his past that must be addressed before he can fully step into the future God has for him. She may be there because of old emotional ties he has not yet released. She may be there because God is showing him what he needs to detach from. She may be there because God is teaching him discernment. She may be there because her presence reveals the difference between comfort and destiny. God is not trying to compete with your emotional pain. He is trying to guide you through it. He is not ignoring your tears, He is interpreting them. He knows the nights you've cried silently, wondering if you're enough. He knows the mornings you questioned whether you should stay or walk away. He knows the part of you that wants clarity and the part of you that's afraid of the answer. But God is not confusing. People are. Situations are. Emotions are. God is consistent. Even when everything else feels like shifting sand, the reason she still appears in his life is not because she holds power. It is because God is allowing you to witness what he still needs to grow through. You are not meant to fight for a place that God has already assigned to you. You are not meant to battle someone who isn't your enemy. You are not meant to compete for a man God intends to elevate. You are meant to see clearly, because clarity is protection. Her presence isn't a sign that you are losing. It is a sign that God is revealing the truth before you invest your whole heart. You deserve honesty. You deserve transparency. You deserve a man whose heart is fully available, fully aligned, fully healed. Not half healed. Not half committed. not half-present. God is showing you the parts of Him that still need mending so you're not blindsided later. God is also showing him the contrast. You and her are not the same. Her presence highlights the difference between what he once accepted and what God now offers him. She may carry the energy of his past, but you carry the grace of his future. She may represent familiar patterns, but you represent divine alignment. She may symbolize what he survived, but you symbolize where he is meant to rise. But God cannot force a man to choose maturity. God shows, reveals, exposes, nudges, convicts, then he allows free will. Her presence is a reminder to him that he cannot carry two seasons into one life. He cannot hold on to what was while reaching for what is meant. He cannot cling to the past and still expect to walk into God's promise. God is revealing this situation to you not to create fear but to build wisdom. You are learning how to love without losing yourself. You are learning how to trust God more than your emotions. You are learning how to let God lead you rather than your insecurities. You are learning the difference between attachment and alignment. Attachment makes you chase what confuses you, alignment makes clarity chase you. Her presence is not a permanent roadblock. It is a temporary revelation. God lets you see what's behind the curtain because He doesn't want you stepping into a relationship where confusion would later become heartbreak. God is revealing if He is ready, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, to receive the love you are capable of giving. God is revealing if He is healed enough to love you without comparison. God is revealing if He is mature enough to close old doors without leaving them cracked open. God is revealing if He can choose you with both hands, not while holding on to something else. You are not meant to compete. You are meant to be chosen clearly. If He is truly yours, God will remove every distraction, every confusion, every emotional residue from His life. But if He is not ready, God will reveal that too. Love is not blind when God is involved. Love becomes illuminated. God is also working on you. You might not realize it, but this situation is awakening strength in you. You are learning patience in a new form, not the kind that suffers silently, but the kind that observes wisely. You are learning not to overgive emotionally. You are learning not to settle for half-truths. You are learning to recognize when someone's heart is divided. You are learning to trust that God sees what you don't. You are learning the value of your worth, not in competition with another woman, but in alignment with God's plan. Her presence is not a threat, it is a lesson. A lesson for Him, a lesson for you, and a divine filter God is using to separate what is premature from what is promised. God is showing you if He can handle the love you carry. God is showing you if He can protect your heart. God is showing you if He can truly choose you in the way you deserve to be chosen. God is revealing the reason, not to take Him away from you, but to prepare you for what is meant for you, whether it is Him fully choosing you or God redirecting you to someone who will. God never exposes without purpose. When God reveals, God is healing something in the process. You've been feeling the tension in your spirit, the push and pull between what you hope for and what you're afraid of. And God sees that. God sees how deeply you care, how much you've invested emotionally, how much you've tried to remain calm even when confusion tries to disturb your peace. But God wants you to understand something powerful. What you are witnessing right now is not punishment, and it is not a sign of rejection. It is revelation. And revelation often comes wrapped in discomfort, when someone still has another woman lingering in their life, whether through communication, history, emotional ties, or unresolved feelings. It is rarely about you. It is about his own journey, his own healing, his own clarity. God is letting you see this so you won't attach your identity to someone else's unresolved past. You are not meant to feel insecure. You are not meant to feel like you're in second place. You are not meant to feel like you have to earn what God has already placed within you. You are meant to know your worth, and God uses truth to protect that worth. She remains in his life because there are things he has not yet confronted. There are cycles he hasn't broken. There are pieces of himself that still echo with old memories. There are internal battles he hasn't fully acknowledged. And you cannot rush another person's healing. You cannot accelerate someone else's clarity. You cannot force someone to release what they are still emotionally entangled in. Only God can do that. And God is doing it, not with pressure, but with exposure. With reflection. With truth. Sometimes she is still there so he can realize what he no longer wants. Sometimes she is still there so he can see the difference between a familiar connection and a divine connection. Sometimes God allows her presence to remain temporarily because it reveals the parts of his heart that still need pruning. And in the process, it reveals the patience and strength within you that you didn't even know existed. But God is also showing you something deeper. Your heart is valuable, and it cannot be given to someone who is still emotionally divided. Your love is not meant to compete with anyone. Your presence is not meant to be measured against another woman. You are not in a race. You are not in a competition. You are not in a triangle. You are simply standing in a moment where God is teaching you to differentiate between desire and destiny. Desire can make you hold on to someone who isn't ready. Destiny will place you with someone who is fully available, fully aligned, fully committed. God is preparing you for a love that won't make you question your place. A love that won't make you wait for someone to let go of the past. A love that won't require you to monitor someone else's presence in his life. A love that chooses you openly. Consistently, wholeheartedly. You deserve a man whose heart is free from the shadows of old attachments. You deserve someone who communicates clearly, not someone who leaves you guessing. You deserve someone who closes old doors before opening a new one. You deserve someone who recognizes your value without needing comparison. And God is revealing the truth so your heart doesn't settle for less than what He has prepared for you. But God is not just working on you, He is working on him too. He is stirring his heart, confronting his indecision, exposing his patterns, showing him the difference between the love he thought he understood and the love God is trying to elevate him into. God is guiding him to reflect on why he keeps old ties alive. Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it habit? Is it emotional dependency? God is pressing on that area of his life so that the truth will come out, not to shame him, but to grow him. One thing God wants you to know is this: she may still be in his life, but she does not hold the position you fear she does. Her presence is symbolic, not powerful. God is letting her stay visible for a moment because it exposes where his emotional loyalties, boundaries, and maturity truly are. You don't need to fear losing him to her, not because he is guaranteed to be yours, but because God never allows what is not meant for you to stay with you. If he is for you, she cannot disrupt it. If he is not for you, God is revealing it so you don't waste your prayers or your tears on something that is temporary. You may feel like you are on the outside looking in, trying to understand the meaning behind this situation. But God is saying, I am showing you this because I love you too much to let you walk blindly. God's protection often looks like clarity. God's love often looks like revelation. God's timing often looks like delay. But every part of it is shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you. If God wanted to hide this from you, he could have. But he didn't. He let you see it. He let you sense it. And anything God reveals, he reveals with purpose. Her presence is not permanent. This moment is not your future. This situation is not your final chapter. It is simply a stage of truth that must unfold before destiny can take its rightful place. And in the midst of it all, God is whispering to your heart, don't rush this. Don't panic. Don't fear. I am in control. There comes a point in every spiritually guided love story where God asks you to pause, breathe, and look deeper, not at what you wish would happen, but at what is truly unfolding. And in this moment, God is inviting you into that clarity. You've seen the signs, you've felt the tension, you've sensed the truth behind his mixed emotions, and you've recognized that her presence isn't random. It isn't accidental. It is part of a divine revelation designed to show you where his heart really stands and where yours must stand in response. God is saying that love should not require you to shrink. It should not require you to question whether you're enough. It should not require you to tiptoe around someone else's unresolved past. Love, real love, God-sent love, comes with peace, not confusion. And the reason this situation has pulled so many emotions out of you is because God is teaching you the difference between attachment and alignment. Attachment makes you hold on to potential. Alignment brings you into what is ordained, she is still in his life because God is using her presence to test the strength of his decisions and the purity of his intentions. A man who truly desires you will draw boundaries. A man who is ready for you will close unnecessary doors. A man who is mature enough will release old ties without hesitation. God is showing you whether he is that man, not through words, but through actions. Words can say "I love you," but actions reveal whether the heart has truly chosen. God is also showing you your own heart. You have grown in resilience, in intuition, in spiritual awareness. You have learned not to settle for half-love, not to be satisfied with emotional crumbs, not to cling to uncertainty simply because of how deeply you feel. You have learned to listen to the still, gentle voice of God within you, the voice that says, "You deserve clarity. You deserve consistency. You deserve truth." This final stretch of revelation is not about losing him. It is about finding yourself. It is about standing in your worth with a confidence that does not depend on who stays or who leaves. It is about knowing that God will never let the wrong person remain in your life, and he will never allow the right person to slip away. If he is meant for you, everything attached to his past will fall away naturally. God will remove what stands in the way. God will close the chapter that needs closing. God will place peace where there once was confusion, and if he is not meant for you, God will gently shift your heart, not through sudden heartbreak, but through understanding. Through the recognition that you cannot build a future with someone who is still tied to their past. Through the acceptance that your value is too high for divided devotion. Through the realization that God has something greater, purer, more aligned waiting for you. But hear this clearly, you are not losing anything. You are being guided. You are being protected. You are being positioned. God is not taking love from you. God is preparing a love that can hold you, honor you, cherish you, choose you without hesitation or confusion. Her presence is temporary. God's purpose is eternal. This moment, though emotional, is not meant to break you, it is meant to shape you. It is meant to awaken you. It is meant to make you see that you are the kind of person whose heart cannot be shared with someone who is not fully ready. If he loves you, God will refine that love until it becomes clear, committed, and whole. If he is not the one God has chosen for you, God will align your heart with someone who will love you in a way that leaves no room for doubt, no shadow from the past, and no competition. So surrender this situation to God. Not in fear, but in faith. Not in anxiety, but in trust. God knows the full story, the parts you see and the parts hidden behind the scenes. And his plan for your heart is never humiliation, never confusion, never disappointment. His plan is peace. His plan is clarity. His plan is alignment. What God is revealing now is not the end, it is the beginning of a deeper understanding, a stronger foundation, and a love story written not by emotion, but by divine purpose. You are stepping into a season where you will no longer question why someone else is still in his life. Instead, you will understand that everything God exposes leads you toward the love He has reserved for you, one that is whole, unwavering, healed, and ready. And when that love arrives, whether through Him transformed or someone new, you will look back at this moment not with pain, but with gratitude. Because this was the season when God taught you your worth, refined your vision, and positioned your heart for the love you deserve.